Today we're going to learn about basic intervals. This is, in my opinion, one of the very easiest things in music theory because if you can count to 8 and you can go line space, line space, line space, up and down the staff accurately, then you can do intervals. An interval in music is the distance between two notes. And in this lesson, we're just going to be dealing with the size of the interval. We're not going to be getting really specific about major, minor, augmented, diminished, all that stuff. We're just going to be dealing with the size. When we count the size of an interval, we give the lower note the number 1. And then we count up to the higher note, line, space, or space, line, until we reach the higher note. Here we have a distance of 3 because our lower note here is going to get the number 1, 2 is the line, 3 is the space. Because as we go up the staff, we always go line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space. And here we're starting on a space. So space, line, space, 1, 2, 3. Here we have a distance of 7 because we're starting on a line. We're going line, space, line, space, line, space, line, and we're counting up as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here is a distance of 8. Now we're starting from a ledger line, but it's still line space, so line on the ledger line, space is between, line, space, line, space, line, space. And the last example, distance of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to deal with the names of the intervals. So every distance, whatever number you arrive at, it has a particular name. A distance of 1, which would be exactly the same note twice in a row. So on this one it would be if I had drawn this note and then I drew the same note again, we would call that a unison. A distance of 2 is a second. A distance of 3 is a third. 4 is a fourth. 5 is a fifth. 6 is a sixth. 7 is a seventh. And 8 is an octave. So the only ones with funny names are the 1 and the 8. 1 is unison, not first. 8 is octave, not eighth. Here are some practice ones, and some of them are below the staff, above the staff, some of them are on the staff. So I recommend that you pause this right now, choose some to practice, and then check your answers. Okay, here are the answers. And I'll finish by saying some common mistakes that I see. The first most common mistake that I see is people do not count the bottom note as number 1. They will do, for example, we'll use this one. They'll go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then every single interval, they're off by 1. So they miss all of them. The second mistake that I see is people don't say octave, they say eighth, and they don't say unison, they say first. Also, people will try to take shortcuts, and instead of sixth, they'll just write the number 6. If I were ever to give you a test on this, which I will, you have to at least write, for sixth, you can spell it out, or you can write 6 and then a TH, but you can't just put 6, because the name of the interval is sixth, not just 6. And I think the other most common mistake is that people don't accurately count line space, line space. They'll count only the lines, only the spaces, or they'll just plain guess. So always be really careful when you're going up or down that you're hitting every single note that exists between the lowest note and the highest note. So line, space, line, space, line. But that is all there is to it.